All right, hey guys, Jason here. Welcome back to the channel. Today we're talking about this new guy right here. You have seen this one. We've had this. We've talked about this already. Used this quite a few times. Have this set up permanently, kind of set up in my trailer, sitting up on top of a shelf I built in there. Pretty sweet setup in here. But this one is the Oupes 1200. Exodius. This is the Oupes Exodius 1500, and you can see there's a little bit more size difference in here. When you look at this, it tells you right on the front 900. What's this one? 992 watt hours at 1200 watts. This one's 1500 watt, 1488 amp hour or watt hour. And this one, I'm going to tell you right now, I don't know the exact details, but as I'm putting this review out here, this thing is becoming live mid-March is when this one goes on sale, and it's going to be at an introductory price to quote unquote, as they told me, because it's not available yet. This is brand new, just a bigger version of this. But when this one came out, you guys saw, I think it was $300 or $399 was the price for this one when it came out, a half price. It's now $699. So it was like $349 you could buy this for. What a steal for what it was. And now it's up to $699, but there was an introductory price on this when I put that video out. There's the same thing happening on this. That introductory price on my notes from them directly in email says set to launch mid-March at an introductory price of 4XX. So 400 and something bucks is what this is going to come in at, meaning they don't even know yet. But $400 for something like this is impressive. Now, Oupes makes power stations that go all the way down to 180 bucks and all the way up to, you know, a few $1,000s. So they got a lot of options for you. What a power station is, basically, either one of these, is it is a big LiPo4 lithium phosphate battery, and it is a inverter built in, a pure sine inverter, and a battery charger built in, and a bunch of electronics and some plugs and stuff like that there for you. So, but they offer fast charging capability. You can charge them by 120 volt, and you plug it into a wall socket. You can charge this by a car charger with it through a 12 volt. You can charge this by solar. You can charge it by both or once. You have high output charging up to, I believe, 800 watts going into this thing to charge it at one time. I think it's 600 on this, 3 and 600 in and out or into this. This one I think is up to 800. So they give you a lot of technology inside of these boxes and what these can do. We'll get into the specs. Before we do, let's dive right into nitty gritty here. So first of all, like, let's take something like this. These are, you know, a grinder, something like this, powerful tool. Again, pure sine inverter, but this draws a lot of power, one of these grinders. We plug that right in, and there we go. Let's turn it back on to AC. There we go. And we hit this thing, it's going to fire right up. It tells us we're using It tells us our output and how many hours we have left on there of running that. Okay, and we are at 100% battery on this, as you see. So it's really cool. You get all this information on here. So they give you that too. And there's also things that these will do. Here's one, for example. This is a tricky one when you get a high output heater. Something that's pretty high output. You even just saw my lights dim and change. Like I said, this is a very high 1500 watt output heater, and it's on full settings. It's on max all the way up, as you can see right there on the knobs, full power. We take this, we plug this thing in, bam, it goes. Look at it. 1500, 1600, dropping back down to 1500 watts, but it's going, it's cooking that thing like perfect. It says we'll get 1 hour of runtime out of this thing at 1500 watts. Why? Because we are 1488 watt hours of power. We're going to get 1 hour of runtime with this beautiful big heater out of this power station. So that's the beauty of this, is having, and it'll run it. This one will run it. This one here may not, because of the fact that we have a surge power in this. This is 1500 watt, but you saw we went over it. This will do 3600 watt surge, and it's got a boost mode of up to 1700 watts. So this one's capable of running it. This one here, let's try this one and see what this one will do. We're at 93% on here. Let's turn this on. Let's put on the AC side, and let's see if this will run this. Here it goes. Watch. Let's see what happens, though. Air it out. See, E001. It aired out. Can't do it. Crashed. Why? And they got all of these have incredible overload protection and all of these features in there. If I turn this off, okay, and then I turn it back on. It'll be perfectly fine to run anything we want to run on it again. We're back, you know, it airs out. It's got these codes. It does everything spot on perfect. We can put that back on here. Turn on the AC power. Come on, turn on my AC power. There we go. But I could run. I can go here, plug this thing into here like this, pop her right in, and we can run this and be just fine on this. You can see the run time. Okay. So they have this overload. They all have these overload protections and everything like that on there. But because that smaller one is only 1200 watt with a 1500 watt peak, when you start putting in a heater that's going to be pushing 1600 watts like this was on startup, and then stay there for too long, not just a surge, but a heater takes time to get there. So it's not just a quick hit. As you saw, it goes up and it's got to come down. It'll air out something this size because it is only 1200 watt. This one being 1500 watt will run it. Not that you want to run that heavy stuff on these things anyway, because of the fact that they're only, you know, you only got 1480 watt hours of power here. They're a battery. Okay, it's not a full-blown generator, so you got to keep that stuff in mind. Understand it. You're not running air conditioners and things like that with these, but they make such a convenient setup for use in camp. I can run my, again, this has, what do they, again, I'm not that electrically inclined, but what do they call it? They call it something in here that is for the capabilities of using this with as a battery backup on a computer, something like that. They have a name for it. But where, like, if you want to plug all my computer stuff into this, it's beautiful pure sine energy, and if my power goes out, this will keep my computer running, giving me time to log out without my computer taking a hit or a surge. They call it, looking on here, sorry, I saw it on here, seamless UPS backup, says, greater than 20 milliseconds. I don't know what all that means. So you take it for what it's worth. But point being is, I'm going to take this and I'm going to plug my, you know, $6,000 workstation into this thing and let it run through this. That way I have that security of power outages are not dropping my computer off on me and knocking it down. So so you can use it for that. Plus you can use it in camp. Plus you can use it to run all kinds of things. It's amazing what you can do with these power stations, not needing to have power to hook up. And then you can also, you can multiply the power output of these as far as the run time by going with solar. They give you in here, they give you kits right here. They give you your plugs. You have your standard power cord right here, but they also give you a car charger cord right here that plugs right into this. And it's got an Anderson on the other side, but you got a car charging cord so you can charge this in your vehicle. And then you also have your solar hookup right here, so you can connect to your solar panels, things like that with Anderson connections. So they give you those options to be able to run and use on this. And then you can also do like I did and buy one, or you can make one, but I made my own version of a cord here that will connect a battery. I've shown you videos on my 100 amp hour Power Queen battery and my Watt Cycle 280 amp hour battery. Well, this cord setup that I did will let me, and it was very easy, it's just cord, all it is wire, and then I have a 12 to 24 volt inverter right here, 12 to 24 volt inverter. Here's where I hook it up to my battery, and then on this end, you can see them in here. I'm not unstrapping this whole thing, but inside, actually, I guess I could. It's pretty easy. I just got a wire on it. But what this thing is for is it allows me to take either of my batteries, my 100 amp hour or my 300 amp hour battery, and I left it long enough so that I can have that big battery that I have sitting on the floor in my trailer. Remember, these are going to be up on a shelf in my trailer, but I can have the big battery down on the ground, and I can run this to there, and then so that hooks to the battery, that end, and then here we have the 12 to 24 volt inverter, and then here I have adapters connected automatically on this cord, this piece I bought, that has everything I need for any version. For example, this one right here is the one I need to run this power station here if I want to run power to this. Let me turn that off. But on here, okay, right here on this side, this is my power in. I can take this plug, and actually it's the yellow one, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, and there's my power in. So now from there, I can have this hooked up to a battery, to my battery, and let the battery keep this going. If I use, which I will in that trailer, that 300 amp hour battery, this is a 100 amp hour battery. I've got 4 times the power, and I just got to keep charging that, and it keeps it running. Now, on the same note, if I want to run this one does not take one of them because it's bigger battery. Here we're using an Anderson. I look on my adapter set. Oh, look, I got an Anderson. And I can plug right into this just like that. And now I'm running, and I just set this right there with it, and then up in my trailer, and I'm running power through this right from my batteries into this to keep this thing going extra long. So beautiful little system. Like I said, this was nothing fancy, nothing crazy to make. I'll bet I got probably got $22 in this setup. And again, I made it long enough because of the fact that I'm going to run a trailer or a battery on the floor of my trailer, and my power station is up on a shelf. I put it together like this, and I just got a piece of twist metal, those, gear tie kind of things, those rubber gear ties, rubber coated wire. And I just put it, there it is. There's my setup right there. So I have that feature. Sorry, bouncing around here, but back to this. Here it is. Let's talk about some of the things. So as you see though, there's endless possibilities to one of these. Whether it's in camp, whether it's for home use to protect yourself as far as power outages and things like that. If the power goes out and you want to run a light bulb, run a lamp, run your TV, run your modem for your internet and your connection there, and be able to sit comfortably and enjoy life a little bit, this will do it. Very easy and for quite a while. So it gives you that capability. Rather than having to come and get the generators and set all that kind of stuff up, plug into this thing. Let it run. In camp, perfect power. In the back of my truck, perfect power. If I wanted to, I could use either one of these in the bed of my truck that does not have a plug. I do not have an outlet in the back of my truck. If I wanted to, I could use either one of them to power my ice cold cooler. Okay? I could power this whole thing with one of them in camp or in the truck or anything I need to do. Endless abilities of these. Just think about the fact that anywhere you go where you don't have power, you have power. Plug in 120 volt, right here, 3 of them. Plug in USBs, got them. PD, whatever, something or another's got them. 12 volt, right here, got it. Okay, you have all of these options right here for you to be able to take advantage of. And for $400, 400 and something bucks right now. That's the beauty of this thing. These things, again, are not cheap when you start looking at them, but these ones here, this one is now more than this one because this is past its introductory. When this came out, it was $300 and something, $350, I think. This one is coming in at $4 something, maybe $450 right now. It's a deal right now kind of thing. So let's talk about it real fast. Specs, for those of you guys that know way more about this stuff than I do. You do get the Anderson car connector charge cord I showed you. You get the AC charge with it, and you get the cable set up for to be able to run for your solar. You get all those things with it right off the bat. This thing is 1200 VAC rated voltage. It is 1500 watt boost mode, which is basically in all the time for you. 1700 watt. Peak watt, surge watt power. 3600 surge watt coming out of this thing on the AC output ports. 60 hertz frequency, 12 volt current, rated current, 10 amp for the 12 volt car. The 12 volt, this outlet right here is a 10 amp plug right there. USBs, you got USB outputs, you got, they're 18 watt max, 5 volt, 3 amps, what you got on here. That's your USB ports that you have right on there. And then you do have 2 PD 180 high output, or 140 watt high output USB-Cs on here. So you get those also. And then you have the PV inputs, which are these things right here that I don't understand or know anything about. Again, solar stuff, and again, things that are out of my world I can't help you much with. So so you get a lot of options in here. And LiPo 4 battery, like I told you, weight of this thing is 30 pounds, 30 and a half pounds. Not very heavy. It really isn't very heavy. It's got some weight, but it's not too bad. Easy to move around. Nice big chunky handle on the backside. You have here on this side, you have your power in. You have your Anderson, and then you have a reset for if you trip anything on here. Again, these things have amazing protection built into them already. As you saw, we just aired out this one trying to run that heater on her. They are very protected. Okay, so it's a very, very good thing on there. So, and then, like I said, you got all your ports on the front, and you get all your display on this thing on here. It tells you remaining disk time charge, or your remaining charge time that you saw. So, like when you look at this front screen on here, and this thing is up and running and powered up, and then we have all this on here. Here's your basic breakdown of what they're showing you that you are getting. So you can see what's actually displayed for you. Again, some of the stuff that doesn't make a lot of sense to me. To you, maybe it does. So here it is, where you can see what's actually happening on here when you're running stuff. So like I said, they give you a lot of great capabilities, stuff that I don't understand, but what I do understand is I understand that there's a lot of times that I want power and I don't get it. And there's a lot of times too that there's a lot of people out there need power that need to be good, clean, pure power, especially during power outages, and that would be very important to have. So now this one I told you stays in my trailer. This is the one that's going to stay in there until I go on my hunting trips when I'm not in my trailer. This one goes to my dad. He uses a CPAP machine every night. So this will go over there to him, and then that way he can run his CPAP through here. If power goes out in the middle of the night, he doesn't skip a beat. This will keep him going and get him taken care of till morning, and he's good to run. So, you know, again, if you were going on a camping trip or a hunting trip, fishing trip, whatever it is, you need to run a CPAP machine or something like that. These kind of things will let you get out and enjoy the outdoors and do that, and do it pure sine. Even if you're going to a campground where that power can spike, surge, and all kinds of things through there and damage any of your crazy expensive medical equipment, you can plug this into camp power, so that camp power comes through here, and plug your delicate devices into this, and this will protect them, take care of them, and make sure you're going to be all good so you have no issues there. And if something happens and power goes out in camp, you have this here for you too. So very nice feature. You can also, like I said, use this in any vehicle as well too, for anything you need to. Power in a fridge, power in devices, charging things while you're on the run. As a YouTube content creator in the hunting world, I'm always charging batteries, always got things hooked up, always got them running. Vehicles today, when you turn the ignition off, they kill the power at all the outlets. It's the dumbest thing I've ever seen, but they do that all the time. And so having one of these, just throwing one of these in the bed of your truck and having it back there in your back seat, under your seat, put it in there anywhere you can fit it, but having that in there gives you full power station. You can use the 12-volt plug on this, wherever I just threw that 12-volt plug right here. But you can take the 12-volt plug and plug this right into an outlet in the back of your car and let this run all the time. But all of your stuff can be plugged into this and charging and re-going and keep going. And even when you're out of your vehicle, such as like my fridge right here that I was just telling you about and showing you. But if I want to run this when the vehicle's off, I can't do it through the vehicle. I can do it with one of these. So many great uses for these power stations. And what you can do with them. And again, as I said, if you're running home computers or any kind of sensitive equipment there too, that's where this one will spend its time until I need to take it in the field. All right, well, there it is underneath my desk. It's running my stations here. I got both my power stations up. I'm not showing you too much of that. I got Post-it notes everywhere. I don't want people seeing stuff, but point being here is that we have this tucked in underneath here over in the far corner of my station here, and we are running, and there it is, just butter smooth. I have everything on that, all my monitors and everything are on that extension cord back there, that big heavy duty one plugged right into this. So if I need to, one simple plug, if the power goes out, I can walk in here and log this off, pull that one plug out, and then I can take this power station in the living room and use it for whatever I need to. But look at that, silent, simple, functional, and effective. Same thing you could do with any medical equipment. Love this setup. This will sit underneath my desk with my computer, my very expensive computer system plugged into this as a battery backup system for my computers and protect them from the surges and all the stuff that can happen and make sure my equipment is taken care of. My last battery backup that I bought for my computer alone, which has now died because the battery just died over time. It was nowhere near as good as these things are. And I want to say that was $500 or $600 that I paid for that thing alone. And it's all it did was run my computer on there to prevent it from a blowout when the power goes out and give me a chance to log it off. This will do that plus so much more and it actually costs less money. There's just no reason not to have them. These things are incredible. You will see these as hunting season starts rolling around. You will see these setups more and more. Like I said, this one will be set up in my trailer. Why am I not using this one in the trailer? People ask, why not use this bigger one in there? Well, because of the fact that I'm going to be running battery backup systems. So if I'm going to run this and then I'm going to run a 100 or a 280 amp, this is the 100 amp, but if I'm going to take and run a 280 amp battery like this tied into this, then I don't need anything else, because in camp, I can use this thing and let it run, plus that battery, and I can also use a generator to recharge that if I don't have camp power if I need to. Remember, I'm gone for a month at a time. So the little one is perfect because it'll do everything I need in camp. Plenty of power to run anything I need in camp. So it's going to do all that stuff just fine and handle all my chargings and all my computers and everything I need there. So this is perfect for that. This one here, like I said, will live in the house, and then when I'm not using it for a battery backup, if we do lose power, it's very easy to just unplug my very expensive power strips that go to my computer stuff. I'll unplug one plug, take this out in the living room, set it up there. We plug our modem into it, we plug the TV into it, and we plug a lamp in if we need it, and now we're good to go. If the power is going to be out for more than a day, then that's when I'll start getting other things to do it. But it's just that simple and convenience. Usually when the power's out, it's out for an hour or 2 or 3. 99% of the time, hour, 2, 1 to 3 hours. This will take care of just keeping us comfortable and watching TV and still having internet and doing everything we need to until it comes back on without having to come out here and grab generators and hook things up and run gas through generators where I gotta, then when I'm done, I gotta let it burn until it burns all the gas out of it because you don't want to leave them in there and clog up the carbs. I don't have to do any of that crap. I just literally walk in my office, pop the plug out of there, bring this thing out, set it in the living room, and I plug in my power strip, which I threw wherever, but a power strip into this, and 2 extension cords, and I got my TV and my modem and my light, and I now got internet and I got TV. We kick back on the couch. Life is good. We got no concerns whatsoever if the power's out for a few hours. Just can't beat the systems of these. Pure perfection, pure brilliance. Love the handle on here. It does kind of bum me out that the handle sticks out further than here. I like the handle there, but it, you can't back this up as tight as you'd like to because of that. Both of them are the same way with this handle back here, but it does sure make it nice to carry. It kind of carries a little funny because of that angle, but like I said, it's solid. It's rock solid. I trust that better than ropes, or I don't have to carry it with 2 hands. I can grab it with 1 hand and take off with it. So there it is, Oupes X Odious 1500. Again, there will be a code down below for you to get you into that introductory price of this thing for 400XX, whatever that is. Let me make sure I didn't miss nothing on their specific email, because again, I didn't pay for this. They gave this to me. What was it? LiPo 4 batteries too. You're looking at 3,500 life cycles to get to 80%. 3,500 times you can take this down and recharge it before it'll get to a point where it stays at 80%. That's incredible. 10 outlets total. 3 120 volts, 2 USB volts, 2 PD 140 watt USB-Cs, and you get 2 of the DC 5521, and you get the 12 volt on here. 4 ways to charge: AC, solar, car, and AC and solar. Seamless UPS backup, 20 millisecond, max 80 or 800 watt AC charging speed going in. For charging it, max is 800 watt charging speed and 480 watt solar input charging. You can run it through the app. Oupes has an app on here. They also give you QR codes on both of these, on any of their units, where you can scan that and get the app, and you can control this whole thing from the app. And you can change the settings for high speed recharge, low speed recharge. You can do all of that stuff right through the app if you're one of those technical people on there. So there it is for you. Amazing. I love this one and use the crap out of it since I got it. I straight up love it. I love it. Now we got a bigger version. Life is fantastic. This one would not do what I needed to inside. It was good, but this one here takes it to another little bit of a bump. And right now with the introductory price of this one, you can get this for even cheaper than this. So jump on it. So links and info will be below for you. Thanks for watching.